Hey YouTube, this is Firewizard23, and I'm here for another book review. This is my review of Battle Royale by Koushun Takami. I hope I'm saying your name correctly, sir. So this is my review of Battle Royale. Um, I won't in these book reviews usually go into parallels, but this book has gained a lot of praise for the fact that it tells its story better than the Hunger Games does. Which Hunger Games, its main plot thread is fairly similar to this. And I will agree that's actually completely correct. Battle Royale handles its plot much better. The spoilers. The plot of Battle Royale is that we have reached a future in which, like, the Chinese Federation government, they're like a weird, it's like a weird, completely totalitarian government. Is it Chinese? I thought it was Chinese, or I think it now embodies both China and Japan. Is the idea? Uh, uh, Prefecture. I just want to go through. I want to say it's China. I feel like it's China. The China government or whatever. The the Republic of Greater East Asia is the idea. So it's like this whole conglomerate of like everything. But I believe this takes place. Actually, no. I think it must take place in Japan, or at least what we kind of know as Japan now. But whatever. You get the point. It's Asia. Okay, just go with that. You get the idea. Either Japanese or Chinese. Chinese or Japanese. It's one of the two. I just go with Japanese. I have the book in front of me to reference. So what happens is we have a group of middle school students who are gassed on a bus and they're taken to a secluded island, and we're introduced to the premise of the idea, which is called of this story, which is called the program. Every year, a group of middle school students is taken away to compete in what is known as the Battle Royale, which is a 3-day contest. These are the rules. They are given a backpack with a weapon, a map of the island, water, and food, and they have 3 days to kill each other. The island there are going to be dead zones on the island where over time, if they are caught in these dead zones, they will instantly be killed because they have these collars around their necks that will kill them. Every day someone must die or they will all die, and at the end of 3 days, if there's more than one person left, the rest of them will die. Those are the rules. If one person successfully remains on the island and everyone else is dead, that person will be declared the winner, and they succeed and are able to go on with their normal lives. They're also given like a pension by the esteemed president and, congratulations letter, that sort of thing. But of course, they're kind of fucked up because they had to kill all their friends. This book is violent. I am not going to shy away from this. This book is incredibly fucking violent. It does not shy away from how these kids die, and sometimes in the most brutally horrible fashion. But what saves this book from being a complete gore fest, and it is what I think the Hunger Games gets wrong, that this story nails this quite well. Every chapter that you read through this story, when you see one of the kids die, we get every possible situation that every kid could be through. I believe those 42 kids. We see every single one of their dynamics. We know exactly what's happening to every single one of these kids. We completely understand their pathology of what's going on with them as the program has gone on. And you really sympathize and feel every single death of these kids, as horrible as it is. And the movie version of this completely destroyed that. And unfortunately, it's the narrative of visual storytelling. There's no way you could get all this in. It would be so ridiculous. But you see every single possible situation happen. You see the kids who, quote unquote, want to play, and they're willing to kill off their friends. They're willing to kill off their classmates. The ones who are the bullies, the ones who are the gang leaders. You see that. In fact, there is a specific gang of kids who are in this book, and every single one of them is killed off. but you see how each one of them is involved or not involved in this game. You have pairs of lovers who are fighting. You have a set of kids who are trying to see if they can make the best of the situation until they can figure out what to do about it, and what ultimately ends up happening to that whole pact. You see what happens when a group of kids starts to band together and see if they can figure out how to get out of the situation. You got one kid who's like really super intelligent and thinks he's almost kind of figured out how to get out of the situation, and then he can't. One character has actually been in the game before. I mean, talk about having the quarter quell in Hunger Games. Like, no, this is just a terrible draw that happened, but he actually was in the game before, and now here he is again. I think you finish this book. You get to the end of this book, which I will not spoil the ending of this book, because I feel the ending of the book is actually pretty clever, how this is handled. Because I think you totally could have... There's a point in this book you could have stopped and not had the rest of this, and it would have been satisfying. And I think it's still satisfying even with the ending they give. Because I think it's really unique what's happened. I really recommend reading this book. This is not for kids. I want to make this clear. This book is not for kids. Do not give this to a kid. I'd really say a young adult. I don't think this book would really be appropriate for teenagers. I think it might be a little bit too gory. Though, again, some teenagers like the gory stuff. Okay, kids, if you're out there and you like the gore fest, fine. Just don't go shooting up a high school or whatever. This is fiction. Okay, it's not cool to kill people. Okay, it's not cool. But if you want something that just you really get invested in these characters and you feel every single one of those deaths, and it is just the tragedy of this kind of situation, and more to that, the triumph of them as humans. I think that is really the huge message of this book that I think really comes across. It is the triumph of them as human people. Like, especially the really good ones where you're like, wow, you were a really good person. And at the end of the day, your innocence came through, or your honor came through, or how devoted you are to your friends came through. I think that really, really is such a loud message in this story. It's such a loud... I'm just thinking of certain parts of this book even as I speak about it. But yeah, I totally recommend this. I would say young adult or teenagers under advisement, I would say. Definitely late teenagers, not early teenagers. It's a little bit too heavy for, I think, younger teenagers. But yeah, that's my review of it. I absolutely recommend this book. Go buy it. This is Firewizard23. Take care and bye-bye for now, everybody.